Hello people. So today we're going to talk about rape, and we're going to talk about the laws that surround rape where I'm concerned. It's obvious why I'm going to talk about rape. International dancehall artist Capleton has recently been charged for rape. This channel is not about echoing the news, so I'm not going to sit here and repeat what the newspaper already said. I'm just going to tell you what I believe should happen legally regarding Capleton's case and the allegation of rape that's been made. Capleton has been charged for rape, and he was arrested, and from my understanding he's still in lockup. So I'm going to contest that part first and foremost, because a charge for rape doesn't mean that one is a rapist or one is guilty of rape. And I'm speaking technically and legally here. An allegation for rape does not make the alleged person a rapist. So considering that that is fact and that is truth, normally when someone is arrested, in order to stay within police custody, they have to be charged for something. And in Capleton's case, it's rape. So I understand that a charge has been placed against the artist, and that is legal. Police can do that. It still doesn't mean he's guilty of raping anyone. However, it seemed like Capleton is still in lockup, meaning he was denied bail. That can be contested, because in felonious cases or felonious situations like this, although rape is a serious charge, you have to take into account that it's a first-time allegation towards the individual, and you also have to take in consideration that the person that's being charged for rape in this case, which is Capleton, is world renowned. He's a renowned person in the island of Jamaica. Therefore, he doesn't possess any flight risk. Considering that he doesn't possess any flight risk and he will be easily recognized at airports or any port of departure from the country, a bail should be given to him without contest. So by Capleton still being in lockup, that part is a bit confusing. Like I say, I'll repeat it again. If someone has been charged for rape, even if it wasn't Capleton, if it was the first time, and especially if the rape charge and the rape report didn't seem like it had any real violence or aggression around it, then it usually warrants giving the person a bail. If it's a first-time allegation, or giving bail is like, well, you're being charged, we're giving you the benefit of the doubt at this preliminary stage that you could be guilty or you could not be guilty. However, it's not up to us, the police. What we can do is put a bail or put a tag on you, or we can get all your necessary travel documents or whatever. Okay. Considering that I covered that, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, of what's been reported versus how a person is protected under the law. Anybody can be accused of rape. Any human being. A male can accuse a female of raping. A female can accuse a male of raping. Let's keep it with Capleton and let's keep it with Jamaican law. Once again, I will emphasize that an allegation of rape, and I even want the DJ himself to understand that law is law and anyone can accuse you of rape. In this case, I feel sad for Capleton already, because whether or not he's found guilty or he's found innocent, he's already lost to a certain degree because of the allegation itself. I mean, not everybody understands law, and not everybody will quickly dismiss the allegation from their mind, even if a court of law finds the DJ to be innocent. So that part I feel sad for him, because whether or not he's guilty, this will forever shadow his career for future time to come in one way or another. But let's speak facts. When it comes to rape, rape is a very delicate subject. What it means is that a malicious female or a crying female can just run to a police station and say, so-and-so raped me, and all of a sudden she wins the case. It doesn't work like that, you know. So when it comes to rape under the law, what is most important when it comes to rape, what a judge or a jury cares about the most, is the facts that will establish rape. And to establish rape, one has to be able to prove sexual intercourse without consent. The most important part of that statement just now is the without consent part. So from what I've read and from what I got from the little bit of news about the case that leaked, it was enough for me to make this video and share my 2 cents. So what I'm going to say is this. I'm going to emphasize on it one more time. The most important thing when it comes to a rape charge is for a court of law to establish that there was no consent. So far, in regards to the news, Capleton didn't deny that to this female. 9 times out of 10, a rapist will deny the fact that there was any sexual contact. You know, I'm not being in defense of Capleton, despite my love for the DJ. You know, where my channel is concerned, I treat my channel the same way I treat my writing. I write without prejudice and I comment without prejudice. So not because I'm a Capleton fan, I'm not gonna sit here and go, well, as my DJ, he's all about positivity, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna do that, because Jamaicans, we have a saying, you see a man's face, but you don't see his heart. So not because we all know Capleton as our fire god and our positive, righteous artist, I'm not saying he's not capable of rape. I'm not saying he's not capable of committing a crime. But no one makes me judge and jury. What I'm here to say may sound like it's in his defense, and the only reason why it may sound that way is because the whole purpose that I am here is to establish what are the facts when it comes to legal proceedings in Jamaica. And when it comes to rape, you need to establish that there was no consent. The newspaper used the word forcibly, you know, while the DJ himself says we had sex. There was a sexual intercourse. The problem that's gonna weaken this girl's case or this woman's case is this. Usually when a person is raped, they tend to report it almost immediately. As soon as they got out of their precious presence, as soon as they get freed from this alleged rapist, they usually report it. They usually report it to their mother, to a police, to a closest friend. But in Capleton's case, it seemed like this female kind of waited a couple days later, according to what I've read. And that will kind of weaken the allegation. The police has to listen to it. The police can't take our complaint for granted, because no one is saying she's not telling the truth, you know. But what's going to work against her? In a case of rape, you usually report it almost immediately. And in a case of rape, if you're going to prove forcibly, the sooner you report it, it's better, because if it's forcibly, then you'll have marks on your hand or marks of restraint on your body. And if it was a violent rape, then you would have to have some sign of violence, you know, some evidence of violence. You would have to have some, you know, some roughage, some impression of his hands. But if you waited for days to pass before you show up at a police station, the police has no other choice than to take your statement. But in her defense will be weak if all she has is he raped me, because then when it comes to sex, it's usually an intimate situation, and it's going to be just between her and Capleton, and he's going to say, I didn't rape you. You voluntarily gave it up, and it was one of those situations. I don't want to speculate on this channel. You know, I've read the comments, I've read the feedbacks, and I've heard what people believe, you know, in regards to extortion, and he didn't want to give her what she wants, so she wants to flip the bill and says it was a rape situation. You know, I've heard all of that. I don't want to get into all of that. I just want to stay to the facts and just says, in order for her to have a successful rape conviction against Capleton, she has to find ways to prove that it was indeed rape. She has to find ways to say it was non-consensual. And if it's just between the two of them, that's going to be very difficult to prove, because she didn't immediately report it to a police, and she has no pictures of, no evidence of restraint or any rope marks, whether she was tied down or held down, or, you know, so that's going to be an interesting outcome. I'm going to follow it just to see how the justice system in Jamaica work. But if I should put my personal opinion into it, I would say based on what I've read and based on what I've seen, she has no case. Her case is weak because she took too long to report it, and she did not retain any evidence of aggression or abuse. It's just going to be her words against Capleton's words, you know. But I get excited when it comes to law and order and court procedures, you know, in any country, but especially in Jamaica. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to turn out. But that's how I feel about it, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to make my point across today, to let you guys know that forget the surrounding situation and the he said, she said. Let's take it technically to law and the definition of rape under the Jamaican legal system, in the framework of Jamaican legal system. And rape is, you have to be able to establish to a court of law that sexual intercourse took place without consent. So that's pretty much all I have to say today about that. Until next time, peace.